1. Birthday. We must be willing to get rid of the life we've planned, so as to have the life that is waiting for us. The old skin has to be shed before the new one can come. Joseph Campbell, The Hero's Journey on Living in the World. You broke the boy in me, but you won't break the man. John Parr, St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion. Barry Anderson was the son of an accountant and a fairy godmother. And so, on the morning of his 16th birthday, just about 18 years after that quiet, bespectacled accountant had swept that fairy right off her already hovering feet, Barry wasn't surprised when his mother appeared in a flash of red sparkles and full powered-up fairy mode. He wasn't surprised, but he was annoyed. "Mom," he groaned, shoving his pillow over his eyes. "It's my birthday. Can't I sleep in on my birthday?" "Oh, come on, party pooper." Dania, his mother, hovered over the bed and poked him with the glittery red toe of her shoe. "It's Make-A-Wish morning. You used to always love Make-A-Wish morning." "Pretty much everything I could want right now you'd say was cheating," Barry mumbled through the pillow fluff. "If you're not going to give me a driver's license or a girlfriend, can I at least go back to sleep?" She scoffed lightly at him, flexing her wings out primly. "No, I'm not going to magically make your life all better. Not my job, remember?" "Mom, can I not get the fairy duty spiel on my birthday, please?" he requested dryly. "But come on," she pushed. "There isn't anything fun or silly you want this morning? What about an ice cream cone or something? Or I could make you feel happy or give you more energy for your driving test. That's the best I can do toward giving you a driver's license." Barry threw the pillow off his head. "No, I swore off magic bean coffee or mood-changing stuff, remember? After that incident with Ramona when I couldn't stop talking? Yeah, no good." "So I can't grant anything for you this morning?" Dania asked disappointedly. Barry hesitated. "Bacon sounds good." "We already had bacon. I bought it last week for us to have this morning." "Mom, really, I'm fine," he said, sitting up and rubbing his eyes. "I really just want to get my driver's license today. If you really want to help, you can find some magic way to make the line shorter or something." She immediately perked up. "So that's your birthday wish? To not have to wait long at the DMV?" Barry sighed. "Sure, Mom, that can be my wish. I wish I didn't have a long wait at the DMV when we go later," he intoned officially. She beamed and drew her thin wand up like a conductor's baton. She flicked it at him, sending a bright little burst of red sparks showering over him. It was nice and warm, like it always was, and he smiled despite himself. "Cool, so that should do it?" "Yup, it should," she smiled. "As far as I calculated, the parameters of the spell should just nudge everyone else to go at a slightly different time as you head over there." "Awesome," Barry said, not really caring about the logistics of fairy magic at the moment. "Okay if I get dressed now?" She sighed and landed on her feet at the end of the bed, wings settling worriedly. "I'm sorry, Baz. I just want your 16th to be special. For me, it was such a big day because I got my powers, and I just don't want it to be disappointing because you don't have anything like that." Barry smirked. "Mom, I'm about to get the power of driving. By myself. I seriously don't see what could be better than that." "Okay," she laughed. "Cars are appealing, I get it." He laughed too. "Not nearly as appealing as never having to have my parents drive me to a date again." "Oh, the gloves come off, I see," she teased him. "Well, okay, let me power down and I'll go get your bacon ready." She released her wand and it floated in the air where she'd left it. She closed her eyes and it danced around her form like it was attached to an invisible string, slowly transforming her back into normal-looking mom mode. All red, sparkly stuff gone, including her wings, she let the wand slip back into her pocket where it seemed to disappear. Her hair was its regular brown again, and she'd returned to her normal summer weekday jeans and t-shirt, instead of her fairy gown. "Don't take too long, okay?" she told him. "You don't want your brother to eat all your birthday breakfast." "Sure," he agreed, as she smiled at him and went out of his bedroom door, closing it behind her. As Barry rummaged for a nice t-shirt to wear on his birthday, he thought about his mom's worry that he'd be disappointed not getting powers on his birthday. He didn't think he was disappointed. Since he had never assumed he was going to get magic, he had never really thought of it as something to be disappointed about. Magic was always Mom's thing. His dad didn't need it, so why would he? Even though he knew he had extended family members on his mom's side that were male and had magic, especially on the blue fairy side of the family, magic just never really seemed like a guy thing to Barry. And with fairy godmother magic being a particularly female brand of magic, being passed from mother to daughter, he had always been fine knowing that he wasn't going to inherit it. An extended life expectancy, based on being half fairy, seemed like plenty enough of a bonus to him, and if he really needed something, his mom's magic was always right there. And Barry had always felt like magic was a little bit of a cheap way to get things anyway. As much as he and his younger brother Nick would prod their mom to get ridiculous things from her magic, Barry had learned that it wasn't necessarily a good thing to learn to rely on it. Their mom was very careful not to spoil them magically, and Barry appreciated that. She'd always had way too many first-hand stories to tell about people who had ended up with a serious over-reliance on magic that could even border on addiction in some cases. It wasn't to be messed around with. As an easygoing guy, Barry wasn't really into the drama that magic seemed to bring with it anyway. His mom's side of the family was way higher maintenance than his dad's. Not worth it, was his opinion. He liked that his mom had magic, but other than that, he'd really rather just be able to drive without an adult in the passenger seat. Dressed in cargo shorts and a t-shirt with a doofy dinosaur on the front, Barry quickly ran a hand over his tired face and hair, glancing in the mirror to be sure it wasn't sticking up at weird angles, and went down for breakfast.